Hi everybody, welcome back. We are back. We are going to be doing bluing right now on this little Darren kit. And this one doesn't take very long. It's pretty easy to do. Then now we're getting to the point where we're doing like detail kind of stuff. So we are going to put our glove on because we don't want to get the oils from our skin on the kit. Real important that we do that. And I should probably take this thing off, but all right. So the bluing is going to be for, and I've got a bunch of notes on this one. It's very translucent stuff. It goes into the deep sections of the face and the arms and the limbs. It goes into the deep, like right here, you know, real deep. Not the light. See, I got lighter ones here, but this is a deep version, and the deep crevices in the kit. So it's going to be this. It's equivalent to ultramarine blue in heat set, but we have some left over right here. We are going to add to it because we're not going to have, I don't think we'll have enough. We need to add a little bit of water to it. I'm just going to add just a little bit and just mix it up because I think this is going to be sufficient. You don't need a lot to do this. And it's just gonna be enough to, and if I think I need a little more, it's really translucent. You can see that it just looks like blue water, I may have to make a little bit more blue in it, and then I would add a little bit more water, just so that it's not so watery. So it's gonna go into, let's see, the nostrils inside the nose here, and what I do is I take one of these little brushes, fill up the water, fill it up, load it up onto the brush, and just kind of dab it inside the nose, and I leave it there while we're doing stuff. Just make sure it doesn't drip, and that will adhere to the vinyl inside the nose. Then you got inside the ear, inside the ear part. Let's get in here and in here, the deep sections. Then inside the mouth, because this one does have an open mouth, it'll go inside the mouth here. And, excuse me, and then, like the other baby I have, it has closed mouth right here. I would do a line across where the lip, you know, where it meets. I would do a line in there, inside the nostrils, inside the mouth, inside the corner of the eye, in here and in here, in this section, and the bridge of the nose. So that's right here between the eyes, right there. The temple over here, over here. If there's a dip in the brows, which there isn't here, there's not here, you would do it on the brows. And if there's any creases underneath the eye, like right here, we would do that right here. And then on the hand and the arm, it would, if it's an open hand, you would put it in the middle of the palm. Let me put his head down. In the middle of the palm, you know, right here. If there's a fist, it would be between right here. You would put it in here, which this one does on one hand. I think on both hands, actually. It has that. So it would be right in here. And then the next part would be the elbow bend, inside the elbow bend right here. The wrists, little dimples. Same with the legs, the center of the bottom of the foot, right here, between the toes, because it's real deep in there between the toes. Inside here, if it's real deep, which there is on this one, just in the deep lines, the real deep ones, and that's where you would put, that's where we're going to put all this. And this isn't going to take very long to do. So this is what we're doing right now. I've decided, because I'm doing a lot of these videos, and it's, when I go to edit, I don't know which one I'm clicking on. So I've decided to do a little, like this paper says bluing. So when I go back to look at the photo, okay, the video after that photo is the bluing. And I know what I'm working on, because I'm getting, when I'm editing, going through editing, it's becoming a problem. So we are doing the bluing. So I think I'm going to try to do right now is take this brush, I'm using a smaller brush, and loading it up with some blue and putting it across the bridge like we said. And we're going to load it up and put some in the nostrils. We're going to load it up and put some inside the mouth area. I'm going to put a little bit into the deep creases there. And in the eye, under the eye. So it's going to look like that, if you can see it. It's going to look, and then around the nose. I think this brush might be a little too big for the nose, so we'll use a different size. Go around the nose. It's just going to make those creases look deeper than what they are. So you can take your blue sponge that we were using and just kind of bounce it off. And you should still see the blue effect of it. We're putting it on here. This blue effect. I'm going to leave it in the nose and in the mouth for a little bit. We're going to go back, load the brush, put it inside the ear in these dark little crevices here. Put that in there. So you can see that's in there. Add a little bit more under the eye. It's going to be the same effect when we do veining. It's going to be similar to it. And then when I get this so I can tip it up, I will show you what it looks like. I'm going to have to do the ears again, but I don't want it to dry in there. So we will adhere it so it doesn't stay on the kit. So this is what it looks like. Let's turn this over so you can see. See, I put it, you can see it across the road in the eyes right there. And we are going to tap it off. And you still should see a blue hue. That's what I'm gonna call it. And you need to put some more in the nose because it's not really adhering like I want it to. So it's in the nose, but you can really see see right here, right here, right here. It's a little darker than it was before. So, and that's what we want. We want that blue hue with that red. That we did. So, let's, you don't want it like full on, you know what I mean? You don't want to see like that blue, you know, you just want to see a blue tint. And when you look at him in certain light, you can see the blue that I put across here. And that's what you want. So, I don't know if you can kind of see the blue hue. You can see it on this eye really good. And a little bit in his nose. It just kind of brings it out a little bit more. And inside his mouth is, yes, it's pink, but it looks darker now because of that blue, because of the blue that we put in there. I'm going to do a little bit on his temples. And his temples are going to be that little indent right by his ears. I'm just going to put like a little circle. Like a little circle. And then we're just going to dab it off. Because the blue hue is going to stay there. Blue adheres to the vinyl really well. And since I'm on this side, I'm going to put the blue inside the ears. Bounce this off. And there's still going to be a blue tint to the vinyl right there. I don't know if you can see it. There'll be a blue hue to it. So we will soak up the major wet. Wipe off your brush. So you can see inside his ear, it's still wet. And it's got that blue tint to it. And it's just got to dry. Same with this side. It just makes it like a little dark, you know, more darker, more. So there is his face. We're just going to do a couple of these crease lines here. And it just makes it look deeper. That's the goal of putting the blue in here. We've already done red, so it works with the blue. If you mix blue and red together, you get purple. So that's the color it's going to kind of look like, is a purpley color, but not purple. And I'll show you. So it's going to be more of a purpley, reddish color. Cute. Okay, so there's his head. If you think that it needs more, you can do more. I really don't want a lot of blue, but I do think I'm going to have to add more because I don't think it's quite blue enough. So I'm just going to do like a quarter. And that's going to make it blue, more blue, deeper blue. So it's going to stain differently. So let's try that and see how that works. Let's use this one. I kind of want a little more. Under the eyes. So it's made it more blue. It's not going to stay there. So now we're going to take it and wipe it off. It's going to be more blue. It went down inside there. It's seeping down each side. So I don't think it's stained like I want it to. Now it did. That's better. Okay, get a dry brush. Soap up this blue that went down into the lines. That's better. I don't know if you can see the blue tint across here. I'm not liking his nose. When I show you up close, it looks awful. I'll have to fix that up. Because it looks like the paint didn't come all the way out. So we're going to have to clean that up a little bit. That looks better. It looks like he has boogies, and he doesn't have boogies. So that looks better. A lot better. I don't know if you'll be, I can see it. You might, it's so subtle that you might not be able to see it online. You might not be able to see it in person. Let's see if you can see it far away. You might be able to see it. You can see the blue tint right there. And then around his eyes, it looks like almost like he has allergies. It's kind of reddish purpley color. And the same with his around his nose and stuff. It looks like that. Now we're going to go back into his ears, and I made this a little darker because it's not dark enough in there for me. And all these little detailed things take time. Like, I'm only going to have time today probably just for doing this. I don't know if I'm going to... The feet and the hands and all that's pretty easy. And I usually make it with a darker color so it'll stain. But on the face, you're kind of really careful on what you do because you don't want it to stain too bad. And I say stain instead of paint because that's what we're doing. Yes, we're painting, but the paint is staining the vinyl. So that's why I call it stain. So now we've got this all full. See that? And we're going to just let the brush soak it up. Take it off the brush. And just, yeah, that's better. That's way better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, here's this side. Let's see if you can see this side like that. Okay, this is the side we just put the blue on, and you can see that it's darker. So that's what we want. That is what we want. So we got to do that to this side. I'll kind of leave it there a little bit. Get this off the brush. You can see that we're using our pad pretty well, and we've only gotten this far. What's this, number 6? I can't remember. Bluing is number 6, I think. Maybe it's 7. Part 6, part 7. And you can do as much or as little details as you want. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. It just adds to the realism of the kit. And I want it as realism as I can do for my friend, you know. So now his ear, this side, and this side, it's darker. So, okay, so the ears are done, the mouth is done. Maybe we can do a little bit more in the mouth. We really want that to look dark in there, kind of. I think I'm okay with the bridge of the nose. Because that's going to come through when we do the mottling and everything. That's really going to kind of come out. Okay, so I'll show you a foot and I'll show you a hand. And then we'll be good for bluing for today. Okay, so on the foot, what do I do? The foot. This is the arch right here, and that's where you want this. So we're just going to kind of put it in the middle here. We're just going to find the middle and just put some in there, right? Just kind of do a little bit in there. We're going to let it set for a minute. And if he's got really deep sections of his toes and up here he does, so I'm going to put a little bit of blue in these real top sections. Right there, because it's deep. And then we're going to put some in between the toes. So kind of like that, in between the toes, underneath. And then you leave it there for a second, and we are going to pounce the extra water off. And you will still, I don't know how it'll come over on video, but you still should see blue, kind of a blue tint. I can see it. You might not be able to see it. I can see it. I might do a little bit more. So, and you'll continue to do this until you achieved what you want it to look like. Like the inside of here is supposed to be blue. Blue tint, almost like a bruise. But it's not, you know? So you're just gonna take your brush and soak that up, because you're not gonna get the sponge in between here. You have to use you're gonna have to use a brush to soak that up. And you're gonna do this again and let it set right here. And then I'm gonna take the little one and do this little crease again. And underneath the toes, you probably do it 2 to 3 times maybe, depending on how. I could do it with just once by not making this so watery, make it so it's more paint, but I don't want to do that. It's not my kit. If it was my kit, that's what I would do, but it's not mine. I'm doing it the way I should be teaching you, is to do it slowly. And this light is not helping me up there. That's better. So now we need to soak up this again. If you were in front of me, or if you were painting this in front of yourself, you'd be able to see all this blue tint. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. You can kind of see it if I put it off to the side, but if I put you into the light, you can see a little bit up here, and it's kind of darker in here. That's the blue tint. That's what we want. And we're going to do a little bit of blue in between the toes in the front. And it just makes it so it's like, makes it look like it's separated. And then we're going to put a little bit in the deep crevice on the top of the foot. you some. And the top here, there's some dark, heavy crevice. And then we're just gonna kind of pounce it out. You're gonna be able to see how it looks kind of like a purple color. That's what we want. That is what we want to make it look deeper. Okay, there's 1 foot. There's 1 foot. And then you're going to do the same to the other foot. And now we're going to show you the hand. Because it's kind of soft, and what I was talking about was right here, we are going to put a bunch of this blue in here, in these lines. And then in the deep wrist lines, and the deep lines in the elbow, wherever it's deep lined, wherever it is deep lined. And then you're just going to soak it up. Bounce off what you can. Excuse me. I'll bring it up to show you. I want you to see, it's going to look like it's a purple color. Before it was just red, and now it's going to be more of a purple color. Okay. I don't know. See, it's more of a purpley color now. More of a purpley. And in between here, it's going to be more of a blue tint. See in those, the deep line, you can see it's a little darker. And that's what you're doing. It's these subtle little changes that add to the realism. Now we've done that part. Now we're going to do in the palm of the hand. Okay. And this is kind of fun, actually, because we got these big, huge, deep lines. And that's why I say I like doing this kind of stuff, because if I see a lined baby, what I mean is, you know, all these lines, I'm like, yes, because you don't have to guess on where to put it. You know, it's already there for you, and you just have to fill it in. And it makes it so it's a lot easier to do. So if this hand didn't have all these lines in it, you would just put blue right in the middle of it, and call it good. We didn't do the other side yet either. All right, so just anywhere there's deep lines, it's just going to add to the realism of it. And when we do the mottling, it's just going to be underneath. It's going to be underneath the skin, you know, so you'll see it differently. You'll see it differently. Let's take the bigger brush and soak it up. That way we're not losing all the blue color. This one back again, and just add a little more blue. I like doing the red, and because his hand is half like this, it's a little harder to do, and you just want to make sure that we get it really good. And you want to make sure that you are pouncing, not spraying. His little hand is blue. I don't know if you can tell. It's so hard to, it's hard to show. See, you can see the blue tint. You can see the brush lines, and that's all gonna kind of go away when we do the mottling. There. Okay, so we did his lines. I don't know if you can tell the, yeah, see right here you can see it's like a purple, and you're gonna see his hand is blue. like that. Perfect. Okay, so now I've got the other two to do and we're done with the bluing. So that's gonna be long enough, I think. You saw the parts of it. And I don't know if you can see up close. You can see this foot against this foot. See, this one's all white. This one is not. See, can you see that? It has more depth. That's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. So, I'm gonna finish the other two, and we will be, the next video will be the yellowing part, which is almost like what we're doing here, but different. And then the veins, and then the fun part. We're almost done at that point. I'm thinking it's going to be through this next week. So it'll take about 2 weeks to do this, because you got to let it dry. You got to, you know, plus you're doing other things, you're working or whatever. So it's going to take a bit. So I'm going to do these other two limbs for today and call it good. And I will see you in the next video.